Skin. Hey, I'm so excited to welcome you all to our call, our Sunday night call. Tonight's call is all about skin health, skin, hair, nails, all of that. We're going to talk about some beauty stuff and like get into the deep root of how do we get this. And I know we all have a deep desire to feel confident in our skin. And there's lots we can do to get us there. So we've invited a guest speaker to share with us. So we have an amazing friend of ours in our community named, I'm a brand new friend to Ashley, and I'm super excited as I get to know her. So Ashley Anderson, she is a licensed stylist and esthetician for over 30 years. She has specialized schooling, guys. Like, I didn't even know this was a thing. She has specialized schooling, actually a PhD in the structures of hair, skin, and nails. So hands up if you didn't even know that was a thing. And this is amazing. This is so incredible. So she has had celebrity clientele. She's a business owner and serial entrepreneur. She has worked in product development and formulary for top consumer and medical brands. Guys, this is a big, big deal that we have her here sharing with us. So you might even want to go grab a pen and paper because she might teach you a few things. So she also volunteers with survivors and at-risk youth and military veterans. For every paying service, like a valued service is donated. So she is a survivor and we are so excited to have her here. So I'm just going to introduce my friend Ashley and let her kick off by sharing some of the things that she knows. And then we're going to get deep into some of the products that we have available to us that can help us with the things she's going to talk about. And she's probably going to name drop some of those products herself and like give you a little tips on which products do what also. So Ashley, you take it away and you go ahead and share with us.
Thank you so much, Jen. I'm so excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this all weekend. Anytime I can help people understand how to feel better and look better and sort of change that voice in their head about how they talk to themselves because they like what they see or they like how they feel, like, I am so on board. Sign me up. And I never in a million years thought that I would be involved in a company like this, in a business model like this. I love supporting my friends who do this, but it's not been my jam ever until I found this place. And it's because this is something that not only I use, but that I can recommend to my clients, and it's legitimate, real, quantifiable results. And I have the kind of customer, clientele, friend, family, you name it, that they have access to everything, all the good stuff because of me. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. It's just that I've been doing this for such a long time. And when you do product development, when you can make your own stuff on somebody else's dime, you come up with some pretty cool things. And I have been sort of my soapbox, if you will, the hill that I will die on is that our skin, our hair, our exterior is simply a reflection of our internal health. You can put the prettiest, most expensive, sparkliest things on, and it will look good and pretty and sparkly and luxurious and expensive for a period of time. But if what you're putting it on isn't healthy, it's not going to look good. And I don't know if any of you have ever tried to put foundation on when you've had a hangover. It's just a little example I'm going to use. You know, it's an uphill struggle. Concealer don't work like it used to when you're dehydrated and things like that. And that's what I'm talking about. So, you know, I'm trained also in Eastern medicine, and we do a lot of our detective work in Eastern medicine by looking at you, by looking at where the issues are happening. Are they redness? Is it flaking? Is it a deep wrinkle that's, you know, really entrenched and hasn't been there for a long time? Is it blemishes or breakouts? Is it heat? There's so many different things we look for. And believe it or not, the exterior of your body is a roadmap for your internal organs and systems. So this is new information to some people, but anyhow, I digress. My point is that The healthier you are inside, the better the outside's going to be. I happen to live just north of Los Angeles. And as Jen said, I do have celebrity clientele. These are people who have all of the money in the world. Therefore, they can have anything they want, whether it's a good idea or not, quite honestly. But the point behind that is when you can have anything, you do anything, you do crazy things. And maybe some of those crazy things will work. It's kind of like that expression of throwing ideas against the wall and seeing what sticks. People will really try anything, especially when their money, when their career or their very self-worth is wrapped up in how they look. And that's a whole other conversation that is not healthy either. But when you can have anything, something that is effective and consistently works and is good for you and actually makes you feel better mentally, emotionally, physically, that's huge. It's crazy huge. So that's why I love this stuff. And when I say this stuff, I am talking about all of the things. All right. So we're going to keep it pretty focused tonight on the things that you really see manifest on your exterior that give you the best results, what I like to call for your money, the best, deepest, and longest lasting results in your physical appearance. These are the products we're going to sort of focus on tonight, but there are many others that I would recommend in there. And I'm not saying that everybody has to have 35 things on their bathroom shelf or their kitchen counter in order to be the best they can or to look the best they can. But my favorite kind of obnoxious and kind of sexy question is, what would you change if you could? And then we start there. Okay. Because you all could look at me through this camera and try to guess my age or try to guess, well, actually, I don't know. I see this or that or the other. Whereas any of those things that you can see that are not fantastic or that could be improved upon, that might not be the thing in my head that bugs me. For instance, I've had crow's feet since I was about 5 years old because I'm a happy human and I have a Gumby face and I'm constantly making expressions, and that's the way it is. That's cool. I'm good with it. I don't mind that. I'm like, you get these through joy and experience and doing things and having fun and all that kind of stuff. I'm cool with that. But somebody might look at me and go, that girl's, how old is she? She's got some crow's feet. That's all right. Cool. But believe me, anything without these supplements that you see or that I might point out when I look in the mirror is so much better when I consistently use these supplements. Okay. So I don't know if that resonates with any of you. I don't know if any of you have wanted or tried a lot of different skincare or hair care or whatever to try and better your appearance, because let's be honest, no matter, and I pick on my clients, my celebrity clients all the time because their money is made by their appearance and that saddens me. But we've all tried to look our best, but it's not just for vanity's sake. I really believe that I got into this industry because I saw individuals in my youngest life who had horrible issues with their skin, and it prevented them from having any self-worth. They had tremendous, serious depression. They never had any serious relationships. They didn't experience life like they could. And I'm talking relationships with people at work, just friendships, just anything outside of the household, no romance, no friends, no nothing. It's tragic. And that was just because of an acne situation that they had been told they had because they were dirty, when in fact that had nothing to do with it. It was actually a systemic or an internal thing going on. So in order to help someone, that's my big job. Okay. I like to help people see themselves the way I see them. And I communicate that a lot. All right. So if we could sustain that feeling, like right after you get your hair done or right after you get your skin done, or maybe I'm sticking needles in you or whatever, because I do that too. If you are there that day with me and you're like, oh yeah, and you've heard my pep talk and you've heard my description of you, and do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see this? And you're like, oh wow, I never knew. I'm a hot mom. Nice. Bombshell right here. All right. If you hear that and you leave feeling that, but you wake up in 2 or 3 days time and you don't see that in the mirror anymore, I haven't done my job. Okay. I want lasting change. And your nutrition's a big part of how we get there. That, and I got to teach you how to recreate what I do. All right. So I think that this is one of the most powerful things, more than any makeup, more than any topical product that I've ever used. And we're going to talk about one of them, but more than any of that, this affects the deepest, longest lasting results that I've ever gotten in my decades long career. Okay. And also, if anybody has questions for me, if you put it in the chat or however it happens, if there are questions, I do not claim to have all the answers because I do not, although I am a science nerd and I like to research. I will go and hunt an answer for you if possible, or at least find you the source that would be the best answer. So I am happy to respond to those things if at all possible, or Jen or whomever wants to forward those on to me, since I'm in a land unto my own here in Southern California, I will look into it for you. Okay. So if I say something that triggers a what reaction, write it down and, catch me with that in print and type, and I will respond. Okay. So shall I just jump into those products that we talked about earlier, Jen?
Yeah,
Right.
go ahead. Yeah, you just go ahead and jump right into them. Let's hear your perspective. I know some of the people on the call here, they've heard me talk about them, they've heard Banny talk about them, and we talk about them in different situations because some of the products do multiple things, right? So, yeah, we're going to hear from the perspective of how it affects our skin exactly, and our hair and our nails today. But maybe you've heard us speak about it in different ways. So this will be a little bit of a different perspective today. So yeah, go right ahead and talk right into the products and like what makes them different than other things on the market and what makes them so effective. Like what is the mechanics behind it, why it is effective, and what it's doing inside for us.
All right, great. I like it. I like to have a plan. So what I'm going to do, y'all, is I'm going to talk to you about the products in this category, like I say, that have the longest lasting, deepest results as far as we're talking about physical appearance. And I'm going to mention the associated feelings or benefits that you could get internally, or why you're seeing the external benefits. But I'm going to start with what I call the no-brainers. So when somebody comes to me, typically, if they are older than, say, 18 to 20, this is where I'm going to start. Okay. Now, obviously, we are all super individual. And because of that, what is good for one person or where to start for one person isn't going to be where to start for somebody else. Just like you could agree that not everybody on the planet uses the same cleanser. Not everybody on the planet uses the same, fragrance. Not everybody uses the same shampoo or hair product. There are variables, okay? And you really do have to find what works for you. But one of the reasons that I love these things is because I haven't had anybody not have a positive result at all. And I've been using this stuff for just a little over a year now. Last month was my year anniversary of being introduced to the product. So I've got some months under me. So the first no-brainer that I will start with is going to be the collagen. It's a liquid collagen. So I'm sure you've all heard this before, but one of the reasons that we are so fortunate with this formula is that it is the only real medical grade collagen available to the public. Okay. There are hospital versions, which nod, nod, wink, wink. That's what this was developed for. But you would be required to be in hospital in order to get that. So the founders, the ownership, and scientific advisory board took that formula and brought it to market so that anybody could get it if they wanted to. Now, the cool thing about this is it's type 1 collagen. I like to think of type 1 collagen as the mother of all collagens, she can bear all the different kinds. Okay. And the numbers do go up quite a bit. Sadly, they don't have names. They only have numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it goes up quite a bit. Now, everybody after the mother or after number 1 has a very specific function. So every of the collagen starting with number 2 only goes to a specific system or organ in the body. Okay. And it's predominantly systems. So think skeletal. That would be type 2 collagen. All right. There's a bajillion different ones, but my point is you can't get type 2 collagen without type 1. You can't use any of the other ones without type 1. Mom has to give you the hall pass. All right. There's no other way. So every single cell in your body, no matter what system it belongs to, is dependent on type 1 collagen, because cells, the actual walls, no matter what flavor they are or where they come from, they are all made up of type 1 collagen. Do you see why this is going to become important? So it's sort of the universal. That's why I call it the mother collagen. So this is type 1 collagen, as a no-brainer. So any of the systems in your body that are deficient in anything will be better if they have type 1 collagen on board, because type 1 can then lead to whatever it is it needs to make. So the mother is also the building block for the other types, if that makes sense. These are all just different ways of looking at highly scientific terms that I am going to try to simplify, because most people don't like it when I start speaking science, okay? Because it is a foreign language. So in addition to the type 1 collagen, and this is the one product in the company, in the brand, in the entire brand, that isn't 100% plant-based. And that is because the human body, as a machine, the human body recognizes an animal collagen as the most easily or bioavailable source. So we don't have to go through a chemical process of converting it into what the human body can use. When we're using other types of collagen, not bovine, from cowhide, basically, and this is from grass-fed cows, that are treated very well, I might add, because I looked into that. If you were to use a different kind, the body has to go through a conversion process in order to use it. So this is going to be the most bioavailable, which is why we get an over 90% absorption or usage rate out of this type of collagen than any of the other ones on the market. Okay. Don't even get me going on the sad gelatin gummies and powders and things like that, which I used for years. I actually went back and looked through my research, because I keep journals on everything, which I have right here. I've tried literally over 100 kinds of collagen in the past 15 years and kept track of it, journaled about it. I've never had results like this. Okay. Quantifiable results, like I'm getting measured different things, functions, things like that, to prove that this is doing its job. Okay. So in addition to that type 1 collagen, we also have an additional 10 grams of protein. So we've got all of those collagen peptides in here, which are very bioavailable, and they are hydrolyzed. So they're the right size to use immediately without going through conversion. So your body does not have to deplete its energy to convert either, which makes it more functional. Or as my significant other says, more better. So we've got those collagen peptides. We've got an additional 10 grams of protein. I happen to be a lady of a certain age that requires additional protein. I just don't get enough in my diet. This is one of the ways that I supplement that, and it is changing my strength. Okay. So you know how as you age, things slow down? This helps speed things back up. This takes you back a few years, decades, in your healing process and things like that. Okay. In your ability to use what's put in front of you or put inside you and use it most effectively. Okay. So we've got hyaluronic acid, we've got L-citrulline, we've got an antioxidant complex. Did you all know there's 4 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables in each dose? Like, come on, y'all, you're getting protein and fruits and veg. I mean, hello. It's like, honestly, our scientific advisory board, I fangirl over in a ridiculous way, because I was like, it's like you thought of everything that I would put on a wish list for a product. All right. there's a certain B vitamin in here called biotin, which again, I can geek out on biotin a little bit because she's one of my faves, but this is the B vitamin that is not specifically like the Zoom Energy. This particular B vitamin is the don't let anything stagnate, keep it juicy. All right. It's one of the reasons biotin works so well for hair growth, because one of the things that slows down or shuts off hair growth is that the fats, the grease, the fun stuff starts to harden. It gets too waxy, and then none of the other stuff, none of the other cells can get through, and so it just gets impacted and hair doesn't grow. Biotin actually keeps that liquid and juicy rather than letting it get hard and waxy. So it deals with the triglycerides and the esters in your sebum, and that's the fat or grease that I'm talking about. That's the natural stuff that you make. Okay. So, and all of this is in an enzymatic delivery system, which again goes to the body doesn't have to work to convert it. All right. So it's in the enzymatic delivery system, which also helps tremendously with gut health, as well as the collagen peptides helping to plug the holes or heal the gut lining so that it's more effective and semi-permeable as opposed to just wide open. All right. So people will oftentimes, we start taking this collagen because we want better skin and hair. Maybe we want better nails. All right. It works for all of those things. However, I cannot tell you how many people have come to me and said, man, I used to have a really upset stomach all the time, or I used to be sensitive to so many things. And my sleep is just for the birds. I don't know. I got stress. I got anxiety. I got all the things. I got, everybody depending on me, blah, 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 like all of the things that we're all used to because it's called life. All right. They're like, I'm telling you, Ashley, I sleep better when I'm on my collagen. I'm like, yeah, you do. They're like, Ashley, I used to, when I would stand up or sit up, I would snap, crackle, and pop. You could like hear it across the room. That doesn't happen anymore. I'm like, no, because you're juicy. You have fed your cells what you need. Collagen honestly is a lubricant for like joints, cartilage, tissues. Juicy is the word that I use for this. And I'm telling you, I'm going down with that one. I will not give up juicy. All right. I know there's some people that dislike certain words, but I'm keeping it. So yeah, you will find with the collagen, absolutely, you will see in a very short time, typically, you will see better hair. That's because of the coating on the actual hair shaft that is leaching out from your scalp, from those oils, from that sebum. Okay. You're getting a better coating on the cortex, or excuse me, not the cortex, but the, come on, Ashley, use your words. Cuticle. Yeah. The outside of the strand, you're getting a better coating, a more protective coating on the cuticle of the hair. So it will feel more soft. It will feel more hydrated. It will be more supple and less brittle because of that. And you can typically feel that within, I would say 7 to 10 days. But I do ask people, normally I'm on a 30, 60, 90-day check-in with everyone anytime they're taking a supplement to really give the body an opportunity to use it. And I will say that when you under promise like that, 30, 60, 90 days, and people start seeing things in 2 or 3 days, you are the rock star. All right. So better sleep, less pain, less inflammation, better digestive issues. Sorry, I just realized I looked down and I was starting to fade from the frame because I'm standing up and I don't pay attention to me. So there's so many benefits beyond just the hair, skin, and nails. So that's the glow. All right. Now on to another product that I like just think is a no-brainer. And I'm going to jump to the topical, to the skincare. Okay. And it is affectionately, the whole category is called, and I say the whole category because I'm manifesting, because I'm really hoping that we get many more of these. Universe, hear me. So replenish. All right. So we have got, or excuse me, rejuvenate. I am going to talk about replenish as well, but for my no-brainers, rejuvenate is on there. So I just want to give an honorable mention to that, because if you think that glow sounds like it could really help the way you look and the texture and just the general juiciness of your skin and your hair, then welcome to Rejuvenate, because all of the benefits the collagen are doing to heal and fix inside with our aging collagen, which the reason I call it aging collagen is because we start to diminish the amount of collagen we make as we age, but it's also drastically dependent on UV exposure. So if you are someplace that the UV index is higher, like I have a lot of friends and colleagues in Australia, there's been a hole in that ozone layer above them for quite some time, for about 25 years now. They're seeing tremendous benefits with this when I send them all these products we're going to talk about, because they have had excessive UV exposure through no fault of their own. All right. So just think about being out in the sun or being sunburned when you were a child. So before 18, that is mostly what really diminishes our collagen production as we age, and sort of has all those things come out, all those not ideal appearance to the skin. So the light spots, dark spots, uneven color, uneven texture, things like that. That's a lot of times that's from past damage that's just coming out now. But at any rate, the collagen helps that, as does the topical. So we've got an all-in-one serum called Rejuvenate that is capable of replacing so many different products. It replaces all the different vitamin serums like A, C, and E serums. It replaces the vitamin K and P serums, which are anti-inflammatory for any of you who have redness or rosacea. It will replace an acne serum, a scarring type serum. It is fantastic for someone who doesn't know how frequently or is just not willing to put in the time to exfoliate. It can help with as I say, the color, the tone, the texture, the suppleness, the hydration. It has plant botanicals in it that are actually what I call smart ingredients. If you have oil, it will calm down the amount of oil if it's excessive. If you don't have oil and you have really dry or dehydrated skin, so you lack oil and water, it'll kick that stuff on so that you make your own. So it's a really user-friendly thing. And the craziest thing of my whole test group, when I tried Rejuvenate all-in-one serum for the first time, was my male clients. It got rid of their razor burn. It got rid of their folliculitis, the impacted follicles from shaving, particularly on the neck area. A lot of my guy clients are like first responders and police and stuff like that. They don't want to get caught with an eye cream or something like that. They're like, nah, nobody's going to see that in the locker room. But this airless pump is like, no, man, I just slap it on, whack it on, and I'm out. It's like, okay, cool. No more razor burn. And then they're like, actually, my lines, my wrinkles, my color, I'm looking like I got arrested. I'm like, yes, you are, sir. So that was kind of a fun one to see that these ingredients work that way. And now Rejuvenate also has a partner in crime, and that is our cleanser. And so the ingredients are different, but they are giving us the same goal. So reducing redness, evening oil production, stimulating it if necessary, giving overall suppleness, hydration, better, bouncier texture to the skin. It's because of the silk-amino-proteins in there, it is super, super smooth when you touch your skin after. And it's just a cleanser, y'all. It's like on and off, but it's still got really powerful ingredients in it. And the coolest thing I can say about this, working in product formulation and development, these are statistically scientific amounts of the ingredients in here. So these aren't put in for marketing. Okay. It's not one or two hero ingredients that sound sexy and cool that we can write on the front of the label. They are actually ingredients that work, and all of them are in there in a quantifiable scientific level that is for maximum benefit. So they're not in there as honorable mentions. And I've honestly, in 35 years of doing this as a job, I've never seen a company put that much money in a bottle, ever. Okay. And I work with stuff that goes for over $2,000 for an ounce. Just saying. All right. So the price point on this is absolutely remarkable. If I had any say in it, it would be much more expensive for these two particular products. And I will say that the bottles are supposed to be intentionally done for 30 days or 30-day usage. y'all, most people are getting 45, 60 out of that. Now, the serum is good for the one pump will go all the way from your hairline, wherever that might be. I have a 5 head, your hairline all the way down to your upper décolleté or upper chest, and enough to do the backs of your hands as well. So that is a full pump out of that airless pump. And that airless pump is there, by the way, so that they don't have to have a bunch of wacko chemical preservatives to make the ingredients play nice together and stay effective in the bottle. So that's even cooler too. And y'all, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you're weird like me and germophobic, don't throw that jar away when it runs out. Clean it, wash it, scrub it up, put it through the dishwasher if you can to sanitize it as much as possible. And you can use that to dose other products. It's my gift to you today. I said, I like it. Somebody else likes that too. Okay. So that is our Rejuvenates. I don't want anybody's brain to hurt. Collagen, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the questions before I jump to the next product. I see a lot of people with eczema and psoriasis both having great benefits, not only with the collagen, but also with Renew, which is where I'm going next, as well as Nourish and Enrich. If the collagen would give people the poops for a couple of days, there are some very specific cases that I can think of that if somebody had really old parasites, this could be healing them out. It's not going to get rid of them. This is not a parasite cleanse by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm speaking to Glow. Sorry, I jump around. I'm very ADD. But I can see somebody when initially using it, if they were not getting the nutrients from something else feeding off of them, or if they weren't getting the proper nutrients just because their regular diet doesn't provide certain things like magnesium, that it would be like a flood to the system. So think being malnourished and then all of a sudden having the richest meal you could possibly have. Okay. But it's very unlikely, it's very rare that does happen, but it is not a sustained situation with this. Okay. On to Renew, if I may. This is cool because there's 2 ingredients I got to tell you about. Renew is a gel cap. Okay. All the other products that come in capsule form, I actually break open and put into beverages because I'm a big fat baby when it comes to swallowing pills. I don't know why. You want to see me eat? It's like a rabid goat. So I don't know why I don't swallow pills, but there you go. So Renew is the only one that I will keep as a pill because it is gel cap, and I don't recommend popping it open because it needs to be it's best if it's time released. I'll say that. So this is a gel cap, and Renew's super cool ingredients are GG Glow, which is also a South American plant, and then tocotrienol. I don't know about you all, but I've heard about vitamin E being good for stuff for a million years. I think we could probably all raise our hands and say at some point in their life, vitamin E was recommended for something, be it a vitamin E supplement, so meaning a nutritional supplement to take internally, or vitamin E to use outside. Now, it's always going to be tocopherol. All right. There's very rarely going to be any of the other forms of vitamin E that are available mass market or even from the doctor. All right. Vitamin E is a fantastic antioxidant. So we know that it heals free radical damage. Well, that's great. So for healing, redness, cuts, burns, owies, crispy crunchies, anything like that, vitamin E is great because ultimately it's not only antioxidant, but it's a lubricant. So if any of you've ever touched tocopherol in its oil form, it's lovely. It's slick. It doesn't cause breakouts. Like, so cool. Okay. You were the cool kid in class, vitamin E or tocopherol, but there's a cooler kid in town and their name is tocotrienol, again, from a South American plant. If you haven't read Dr. Barry Tan's book, I highly recommend it because he is truly the pioneer, the end all be all. Yes, thank you. The truth about vitamin E. Every time I get to talk to him, I'm giddy for days. So in order to keep this compliant, I'm going to keep the words to a minimum. but he's working and has been for 7 or 8 years on clinical trials on terminal patients. You can figure out how they got there, in Denmark, using specifically tocotrienol in a triple or quadruple dose, and it is having curative properties. And I could name off the flavors, but then lightning would strike me, all right, in the form of regulatory, all right? So we don't like to toy with any of the government agencies about making claims, because we do not treat, diagnose, or cure anything, nor make any claims to do that. But I'm going to tell you a fun little, I'm jumping with my testimonial, but I had a bet with my eye doctor last year that I was going to start taking this. And I do have other health concerns that would require me to take a double dose, sometimes even a triple dose, but I take a double dose of Renew. And my eye prescription is getting weaker. My eyesight's getting better. I'm too old for this to happen, but it's working. All right. So there are studies that show tocotrienol healing and reversing macular degeneration. All right. So think about oxidants, oxidizing agents. Think about leaving a piece of metal out in the rain. It rusts, right? Oxidative damage or oxidative stress is one of the beginning roots of all things bad in aging. We have oxidative stress and we have inflammation. Those are the roots of all evils. Along with certain parasites, but tocotrienol addresses actually all of that. So if you are looking to feel better, if you are looking to be juicier, if you want to make your glow as effective as it possibly could be, you're going to use a couple other products with it, and Renew's one of them. All right. I will get off of the Renew bandwagon because it is my heart. Right? But Renew is truly, it's great for anybody that has skin issues. It's great for anybody that has joint issues. It's great for anybody that has inflammation issues. It's great for anybody that is resistant to aging or they just want to age well. Okay. I cannot truly think of a human being over the age of 20, 25 that I don't recommend Renew to. Okay. So there we go. Which brings me to my other companion, Nourish. All right. Nourish is what most people would call a meal replacement shake and stop there, go on with their lives. All right. Cool. I like it. Do it. Do that. Do that. You want to maybe lose some, what did I call it the other day? Fluff. If you're feeling fluffy. Yeah. Maybe cut out the useless carbs. I don't know. Maybe put the booze down. I like beer, but maybe I might not drink that if I'm feeling fluffy. All right. So meal replacement shake, cool. It is a protein powder. It is one of the few protein powders that is not gritty, in my opinion, but you gotta try it for yourself. It's also one of the few protein powders that I actually like the flavor of. It doesn't taste like you tried to make cardboard cool or palatable. All right. Comes in many flavors. I haven't found one I don't like, but we'll talk about that another time. So Nourish, one of the coolest things about this is it's not just a meal replacement shake. I was kind of being salty, kind of being sarcastic about that. Nourish actually has a ton of trace minerals as well as other nutrients in it. It's also a plant-based protein, which is worth sharing because a lot of protein powders out there are not plant-based and it can be irritating. It's also not soy-based, and soy, sorry, man, not cool for some of us when you're talking about different genome types. Soy is really not good for women in the realm of breast, uterine, any of the reproductive organ cancers. Soy is also not good for men because it's one of those female hormones, along with beer, that typically makes them develop breasts and thicken in the middle. Soy can be problematic for many different reasons. So this is soy free. All right. This is from predominantly pea protein, but there's also some rice protein in there. And in addition to that protein, that plant protein, we also have something called Oliglow. All right. Now, Oliglow is The closest, and this is oftentimes the part where I lose everybody, but Oliglow is the ingredient that most closely resembles human breast milk. There is no breast milk in here. Just, I need to make this very clear. There is no breast milk in here. Mama Sally did not donate and then they just started making it. All right. That's not the case. But Oliglow is a trade name for this ingredient, but it is the closest to that. So think about why breast milk is so important for babies. What does it do for a newborn? I think we can all agree that it's building all of the new tissue. It's building the structures. It's feeding everything. Okay. It is the perfect food. All right. So think about what would happen if you could get all of the benefits of that perfect food without having to have breast milk. All right. So that's what we have Oliglow for. It shows tremendous, in studies, in scientific studies, Oliglow shows tremendous benefits to the skin. And that's why Glow is in its actual name. So galacto-oligosaccharides is its full name, and it is so powerful when we're talking about skin. So if you want the juiciest, best looking skin, Nourish is your way in. There's also biotin in Nourish. There's also, like I said, all those other vitamins and minerals in there. And you guessed it, it's in an enzymatic delivery too. So your body doesn't have to convert. All right. One thing I didn't mention about Glow, it starts working as soon as it hits your gums and your tongue. You start absorbing Glow immediately. Same for Nourish. So it doesn't have to go through the digestion process. That's one of the reasons people see results so quickly with both Glow and with Nourish. So you could use Nourish like me. I said earlier, I'm of a certain age. I'm on the 5th floor, if you know what I'm saying, and I need more protein. So I actually mix my Nourish and my Mojo or Zest together so that I get that all done. And I actually put a lot of my other capsules, I break them open and put that in that drink, iced, good to go. All right. So that's kind of fun. Did we want to talk about Replenish?
Sure, I would love to. I love Replenish for many, many reasons, but I haven't really talked too much about how it relates to skin. So I really would love to hear what you have to say about it.
Okay. I'll be fast. I don't want to take up your guys' entire lives. Well, I do, but I'm not going to. So Replenish is what I call our cinnamon bark tea. I'm way oversimplifying that, but it is natural cinnamon. Okay. It's from cinnamon bark, or the flavor, I should say, but cinnamon also has tremendous benefits for your blood. Just don't get me going. But there's many cool things about Replenish, but the thing that I want to highlight in here is that the humic and fulvic acid that is in Replenish is basically the strongest heavy metal detox I've ever found for human beings. Okay. So for anybody I want to still be alive, basically, you can get the metal out faster, but it's not going to feel good. All right. So, heavy metal detox from the fulvic and humic acid. They also have other tremendous skin benefits, feeding specific skin cell production at the basement layer. So I'm not talking the skin that you can touch. I'm talking about the stuff that is down below that's actually birthing the new skin to come out. So I'm talking about dermis layer rather than epidermis layer. Don't dwell on it. It feeds the skin. It has all the special nutrients skin needs. But we also have a mushroom complex in here. If you haven't heard about health benefits of mushrooms, you've been living under a rock. All right. So we have phenolic compounds in this tea that is not available anywhere else. Okay. 2 of the mushrooms are actually considered in other cultures to be beauty mushrooms because they make you look better and younger. All right. Just sign me up, please. Heavier dosage, bring them to me. Yes. All right. So the phenolic compounds are something that science and I think media is going to be talking about in the future, because we really have our hands on something that is next level food medicine or plant medicine. Okay. So that is, I won't get into the PSP and the PSK that are the foundation of this mushroom complex, but understand that parts of your body that that received injury or that got real quiet or sluggish years, decades, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago can get flipped back on with these compounds. Trying to go in a roundabout way leads you to brain function. This is meant to look good. It can help you calm down what I will call scatterbrain, but it also, these compounds in this mushroom complex are also building a lot of notoriety in cognitive medicine and things like dementia and Alzheimer's. Okay. So you want to know you look good, right? That's what I think of. So those are some of my faves. I'm just going to look at some of these comments. Enrich in the skin benefits. Absolutely. For pregnant and breastfeeding, let me just address pregnant and breastfeeding, and then I want to address a hygiene question that I saw earlier, and then I will come to enrich. Pregnant and breastfeeding. I am not pregnant, nor am I breastfeeding, so I'm not going to make that call. I always say, take the ingredient decks to your doctor, I deal with a lot of cancer patients, so I automatically just came out with oncologist. I meant your OBGYN or something like that. So take the ingredient list. You can screenshot them right on the website. All of the ingredient lists are on there. If you don't have that in a book already saved in a file, I can send it to somebody because of course I've got it. But you can just take those labels to your physician and ask them if they see any reason why this would not be conducive during pregnancy or breastfeeding. So far, all of my clients that I've said, hey, ask your doctor. I haven't had a doctor yet, even in a high risk pregnancy, but that is these individuals. So I'm not saying across the board. I always say ask. Okay. I saw a hygiene question earlier. I think it was, how often should you shampoo or how often should you wash for healthy hair and skin? That is not a simple answer. Age, sex, hormones. I mean, which sex you are, not if you were. Sorry, it's late. I'm sleep deprived from a new puppy. So typically you don't want to go overboard because too much, too frequently strips the exterior of its protective layers. And fun fact, it takes your immune system about 8 to 12 hours to put those protective layers back. When your immune system thinks that this has been stripped, meaning your skin, it can't focus on anything else that's going wrong inside. So it takes the focus away. I firmly believe that a lot of health problems are begat from over processing the skin, because your immune system, your skin is actually the largest organ of your body, and it is massively a part of your immune system. When you treat it well, it lets everything else inside work better. All right. So don't torment it. So don't use alkaline products on the outside of your body, and use things that are pH balanced, i.e. 5.5 to 6.5 or 4.5 to 5.5, anywhere in that 4 to 5 range. On the outside, whatever it is, if it's homemade soap, just get a little pH pencil and test it, make sure it's in that range. That will keep you out of trouble. And then what was it? Ooh, enrich. Okay, enrich, digestive enzymes. Pre and probiotic, as well as digestive enzymes combined all together. It's 100% plants. The dose, if you should take it, that's not the question. Yes, you should take it. Even if you don't think you have tummy troubles, you don't know. It can be better. I know it's a shocking thing to say. You could think you are bulletproof, but Enrich can make you better, okay? The cool thing about Enrich is, again, pre and probiotics as well as digestive enzymes go to not only helping to heal the gut, but imagine if that food that's bad for you had some kind of nutrient lurking in there, but all the bad gets in the way. Enrich will leach out that good thing, keep it, and let all the bad guys process and get the heck out. Okay. It is not a laxative. It is not going to make you go to the bathroom. Although if you have problems going to the bathroom, it'll help, but it's not a laxative. If you have very, very loose or liquid bathroom breaks that should be solids, it will help firm those up. Okay. The reason is it is processing the sugars, starches, fats, carbohydrates, all of the things. It's processing all of the things and taking what is good and letting the rest go, or encouraging the rest to go. I have taken Enrich while fasting, because I do fasting for many different reasons, mostly for my mental health, believe it or not. I torture myself to get something good out of it. And I take Enrich during that, and it's crazy pants how much better I feel, because my body's using the natural fuel or the old stuff instead of muscle when you have Enrich on board. Okay. So it's sort of one of those smart products. Like I was talking about the Rejuvenate series being, it does what it needs to do. So people that have food allergies, sensitive, not allergies. If you're allergic to something, you're properly allergic to it, accept and move on. All right. Deal with that. Keep the allergens away from you. But if it's a sensitivity, like maybe people aren't sure if they're lactose intolerant, but they know every time they have milk, they get a tummy ache, but they can have certain ice cream. Okay. There's a lactose in there that's irritating them. Use Enrich, and that will probably diminish that upset stomach, or the what I call bubble guts. It'll help you process things. We just had Cinco de Mayo, people eating all sorts of delicious, wonderful fried things. It'll help you with that as well. Okay. I like to tell my blackout story. Like if you think if you've drank too much and you don't want to go to blackout town, take a couple of Enrich. It'll pull you right back. It's not going to sober you up, but you'll remember everything. It's kind of joking, kind of not. But here's the thing, your gut. So all of those things that could be irritating in your stomach, be it foods or stress or hormones. Ladies, has anybody ever noticed bubbly guts during certain parts of their menstrual cycle? Hormones drastically affect our digestive system. Our gut is linked to our brain. We are finding out more and more now that the gut-brain axis and the gut-skin axis is much stronger or in control of things than we ever thought before. So just know that the skin is the least researched organ of the body, and it's the largest organ of the body. We are now learning how much our actual gut calls the shots for brain health as well as skin health. So how does Enrich affect or better skin? Well, let me tell you, the better your gut is. And when I say gut, I'm specifically referring to your intestines and your colon. The better that stuff is, the better your skin's going to be. If you had redness and inflammation, you will see it diminish with Enrich taken regularly. If you have blemishes and breakouts, cysts, nodules, things like that, you will see them lessen with Enrich because of that gut skin axis. If you have dry, depleted, crispy, crunchy skin, you will find it becoming more supple because Enrich, the gut skin axis. When the gut is allowed to emit the neurotransmitters and the chemical messengers, otherwise known as hormones, they're not all bad. But when they're allowed to balance, it actually balances this as well. It balances the exterior because those are immune functions working in tandem. Okay. How's that? All right. I'm going to look at questions. If people want to tell me how they feel about these products or anything that they've had.
It's all amazing. You shared so much information. I definitely learned a few new things, Ashley. Thank you so much for sharing.
Great.
Yeah, fantastic. This is recorded, guys. So if you are thinking of someone who suffers from any sort of skin ailment or hair, or someone struggling to grow their hair out, or they're complaining that their hair is thinning and they're losing a lot of hair in the shower, or, they're brittle nails, anything like that, feel free to ask for this recording. We will give it to you so you can forward it on. That's why we always record it, because there's always someone you think of after watching. And so we were just going to wrap it up by just sharing a few images and photos. If you do have questions, we can definitely address your questions still, but we were going to pull up a few pictures because we always say pictures are worth 1,000 words. And sometimes we can talk all about it, but the pictures don't lie, right? And so go ahead, Benny, you share about these pictures.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was so informative. So we're just going to go through some photos. This is Leslie, one of my really good friends who was on our Glow Collagen for 1 month. And you can see her veins actually went subdermal. So this was after 1 month of Glow. She called me in tears. And then she also took pictures of her face, and you can really notice a difference. So when we say take pictures of everything, we mean take pictures of everything. This is Krista, and I know that some people had questions about psoriasis. So Krista has been on Glow, Renew, as well as Enrich, and she has had psoriasis since she was a kid. And she was saying that she can shave her legs now for the first time and have clear skin. And then you can see from her face. I remember meeting Krista for the very first time right after Christmas, before she started the products. And now when I see her, she is just glowing. But her skin is one of the things that she's noticed the most with, healing the gut. All right, so that is Krista. This is me from my collagen. So we talked about scars and skin. One of the very first things I noticed about 2 weeks into using Glow was that my scars from surgery 2.5 years ago were fading for the first time. And then this is me, Cinco de Mayo, we were just talking about. I was wearing my Mamacita Needs a Margarita shirt. And I was like, you can't see the words anymore. And this was in September. And you guys, I could not grow my hair. My hair would not grow. And I really resonated with what you were saying. I tried everything. I tried every serum, every oil, every magic potion on the market, and nothing would work. Like I was Googling foods, you name it. So my hair has just, it's amazing. Okay. This is Beth. She's on the call. Give a little wave, Beth. And Beth was using the Glow for aches and pains in her body. But when I saw Beth for the first time a few months after using the products, she just looked younger. She was saying that, people were mistaking her for being her daughter's sister, not mother, things like that. Who doesn't love looking 10 years younger? And then these are her pictures when she introduced that Rejuvenate skin cream. And I'm not going to lie, I was not going to purchase the skin cream. And then Beth showed me her pictures 1 month using it. And I believe it's psoriasis that Beth had in her ears and underneath her chin that has really gone away. You can see my face, the redness, and actually we all have our thing. Mine is my nose pores. My dad gave me these huge nose pores and I don't notice them anymore. And then this is Glenda. And this is about 3 months after using the Glow. Her skin, and she's actually noticed that her hair is curlier. Like her friends are like, what products are you using in your hair? And she's like, it's actually the collagen. So that makes sense when you were talking about the root of the hair. And then you can also see her eyelashes. Look at how long they are. So that is Glenda. And then this is actually one of my friends who just started. So I thought I would throw this up. And she's actually been taking on her skin health for a long time with different things. And she just introduced Glow and Rejuvenate. And these are her results from 2 weeks. So when we say impact products and we see results, we really can see them. So make sure you take all those before and after pictures, even of things that you might not think, like your veins. Leslie also had veins on her feet that she took pictures of. So those are just some photos of the things that we were listening to tonight. And thank you so much. This was so informative, and it's just nice to kind of go on a deeper level of some of the products and how they work. Anything else you want to say to wrap up, Jen?
No, I think it's amazing. What we will do though is we will just, along with this recording, we will mention all of the products that we were talking about, because I know there was a lot, and we'll just do a little you know, a little something beside the word, the name of the product. So you know what we're talking about. Like when we say rejuvenate, we're talking about the cleanser and the all-in-one serum and that sort of thing, so that you know what we're talking about when we name it. So that will help you decipher, like what Ashley said is, what do you want to get started on first, right? Like, what do you want to tackle first? What is your struggle? And whoever invited you to watch this tonight, or if you're watching the recording, they can give you the information that you're looking for. So please reach out, ask questions, and they'll be able to connect you to getting access to the products. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Ashley, thank you for going over and above with all of your information. I love it. I love to geek out on all the things. I will tell you, I will add this one last thing. So Ashley, before I could publicly recommend the products, when it comes to the Rejuvenate, I'm all about the food and I know all the food and supplement ingredients, but skincare is not where I have expertise in. And I actually took every single ingredient and matched it on the EWG website to make sure that it was all safe ingredients before I could publicly recommend this product to anybody. And I will report that every single ingredient, guys, it took me 2 hours. There's a lot of scientific names in there to plug in. And every single product came back as like a safe ingredient to be using topically on your body. And so that made me feel even more like excited to share, because it's great when you get results, but if the results end up damaging you in the long run, it's not good. And so that's like, I've been working on my health for a long, long time. I do not want to ever go backwards. So I always double, triple check everything. So I have done that hard work for you guys. You don't have to do that. Feel safe that everything is going to be really safe to put in your body and on your body. We're all checking it. So thank you guys again. Have an amazing day, evening, wherever you're tuning in from. And I look forward to the next call.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.